Hello and welcome to a Not So Awesome Review. Today we're looking at The Girl from the Other Side. No, I have no idea how to pronounce any of those names, so I apologize, but it's right there on the cover. So, yeah. Don't usually do manga reviews. It's not something I've done a lot of. I think I might have done one before, but I'm not even sure about that actually. If I did, it was a while ago. But getting back on track here, The Girl from the Other Side is a really good, and I mean really good book. What attracted me to this book from the beginning was the art style. I remember I was just browsing, I don't know if it was Amazon or what, and this book came up and I saw the art style and I went through and looked it up on Google and stuff and saw more of the art and thought, this looks cool. So I went off to Barnes and Noble and picked it up, and it's a really good story. Now, this is volume one. I'm only going to be talking about volume one. I may do volume two and three later. There is a fourth volume coming pretty soon, I believe, this year. And I think that might actually be it. I don't think it's going to be that long. I'm pretty sure it's only 4 volume long, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So story wise, we have a girl named Shiva who's living out in kind of a deserted area. She's by herself, but she isn't. There's this thing called an outsider with her, hence the girl from the other side. Basically, an outsider is this what everybody else would describe as a monster. If it touches you, you become one of them, and people think of it as kind of like a plague, a curse. And when one of these things shows up in a village, usually the village does its best to run away because they don't want to be turned. She is on the other side of, I believe it's a wall that kind of surrounds what is left of mankind. We don't really get a clear image of what's going on in the human rule part of it. We know that they don't like outsiders. We know that they hunt them. We know that they're soldiers that go out into the woods and look for them. And the story mostly centers around this girl. Like I said, her name's Shiva, and this other outsider who, the more we see about him, the more we get the sense of, he's not a bad person. He doesn't remember himself. One thing we do know about him is he doesn't know who he was, but we know that he's, at least from what we're reading, is different. He's not violent. There's nothing cruel or unusual about him from what we get from the soldiers who are afraid of these things, and even himself, who tells the girl to not, go out by yourself. He doesn't want her to get touched by one of these things. He doesn't want her to turn into one. And really, the main story here is just them kind of living on the other side of this wall, kind of just living in this abandoned house, going to this abandoned town looking for food, scavenging, with the girl's belief that her grandmother is going to come back for her, though maybe she won't, maybe she will kind of aspect. We have the outsider kind of having a secret about that, knowing things that she doesn't, that makes him feel bad. On top of that, we find out these soldiers have seen her in the woods and believe that she's a trick from the outsider to lure people out to go get her so they can attack them, and they're commanded to kill her on sight, and the story progresses from there. It's a pretty short book, as most mangas are, but it is a very good story. It does, explore the background about, this supposed curse and what's going on. We do get that in kind of a fairy tale story type of way. And, it just, the more you learn about this world, the more interesting it is, the more questions you have. And it's just, I don't know, the art style, everything, the story, it's all, in my opinion, done really well. The writing is really well, the back and forth between the outsider and Shiva, it flows really nicely. I have no problems with that. The art, like I said, is what attracted me to this, and it looks good. There's really nothing to say about there. You see this girl who doesn't know much about life. She's basically an innocent child who's kind of like, unaware of dangers going on around her, and this person who you can think of as a monster, just protecting her and looking after her. And the mysterious reason is, well, why? Because we're supposed to be led to believe that these guys aren't good, but it's kind of the opposite fact, at least with this one. The story, I will say right now, does end in a cliffhanger, so maybe look over it if you guys are gonna get it. Maybe if you're at Barnes and Noble and getting it there, look through it and see, okay, if I really do like this, maybe I should get volume two, because I would definitely recommend getting volume two and three if you can. And yeah, there's really not much else to say about it. Highly recommend this book. Really liked it, And yeah, that's pretty much that, I guess. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.